Can you hear them? They are back. I want to move. This is Japan. In Japan, we always get something extra to the drinks just to sell them in summer, and I'm one of those who buys them. I almost lost my camera. It's super windy right now, and it gets like pushed back. So this is my new cooling jacket for my drinks. Isn't this cute? Okay, it's time to talk. As I just said in the beginning of the video, I want to move. It's time for me to move. Actually, I still have a little bit of time because I plan to move until January, but I'm starting to look for apartments. That's why I want to talk about moving in Japan and why it's a pain in the ass. I just had to switch the place because it got too dark outside. So I'm back here.
Random review.
On my way home, I actually got something. A new taste of Kit Kats. There are actually like 5 colors of the Kit Kats. Let's give it a try. So basically the idea of the Kit Kats is that there are questions, and the purpose is to not think about those questions right now, so it's kind of like weird. So I just got this one because it's my favorite color, and the question is 今の暮らしと100年後の暮らし何が一番違うな which means something like between now and in 100 years, how different is the lifestyle of our people. And like, as I said, this is just a question not to answer right now, but in 100 years or whatever. Let's make a very fast test of these Kit Kats. They're a little bit melting. They're good. Back to my topic. So as I said, I've been to 2 real estate agencies, and like in both cases it was pretty sobering. Do you say sobering in English, or is it just something that I carried over from German? It's like when you're a foreigner in Japan, it's just not even if you're a foreigner in Japan, moving in Japan is just a big pain in the ass. Like, there are so many costs around moving that when one starts to think about moving, it's just like you kind of just want to give up. But at the same time, if you stay in an apartment for longer than 2 years, You have to pay huge amount of money just to keep this apartment, which is kind of like you are forced to move, unless of course you like your apartment, but you are forced to move, otherwise you spend a lot of money just on staying in your own apartment, which is crazy. And then there is the factor of being a foreigner in Japan. So one of the real estate agencies I went to, I actually had an appointment there. So they just had some apartments repaired, and like I think they made sure that like foreigners are okay just before I came. But the second agency, I just went straight out of the street inside and just told them what I want. Like in the beginning it was super promising because the guy who was helping me out, and he was really nice. Like the people in those shops are super nice, even though of course they kind of want you to buy anything because this is how they make money. Like they get profits and bonuses for each customer. Except for this, like those people are super nice to the customers. So like I don't blame those people at all. So the guy who was helping me to find an apartment just got like out of a folder, he got like 10 or 15 apartments that were fitting my search. Well, then he started to call people, and he called the first apartment, and he was like, yo, I have here someone from Poland. And basically at this point the telephone call was already over. They were like, foreigners, no, nah, not in my house. Then he called the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and finally, out of 15 apartments, only 2 agreed on a foreigner. Or not even agreed on a foreigner. I would still have to apply for those apartments. I'm still not sure if I would get them. They were at least okay with me, like considering me as someone who can move into their apartment. And this is just super annoying though. I as a foreigner cannot choose between apartments. I kind of have to take what they give me, which is usually the most expensive option. Just searching for an apartment as a foreigner is such a pain in the ass. I had a short talk with the guy today about this. He told me like, yeah, foreigners are difficult to rent out, and to be honest, like when I came to Japan, I was blaming this on racism and stuff. And maybe there is like a slight touch of racism, but I kind of also understand, after living for so many years in Japan, I kind of understand why apartment owners in Japan doesn't want to rent out apartments to foreigners. I know so many people who lived in Japan and just left the country without giving up their apartment in a proper way, which means like usually if you break the contract you have to pay some money to the owner for like breaking the contract. You have to like pay all of your bills, electricity, water, gas. You have to cancel your phone and everything. And I just know so many people who came here and they knew that they will be only for a short period of time, like 1 year, 2 years only. And when the time came to move, they were like, why should I pay if I can just leave the country? And they just leave the country and they leave the apartments, their phones. And I mean, like, it makes kind of sense that like if someone leaves the apartment and he still has to pay for the internet, for the electricity, for whatever, then if this person cannot pay, the owner has to pay for everything. So I kind of understand why they don't want to rent out apartments to us. But as someone who takes Japan really seriously, and I mean, like, I'm counting on living here for the next few years, I just kind of feel that sometimes that it's not fair, because like I pay my taxes and everything, and I try to be a good resident of this country, and I still have to pay for someone who was an ass, and I kind of have to carry his fault. This is actually like a totally different topic, and I think I want to talk about this one more time, because it's actually super interesting how the perception of foreigners here in Japan is. But as for now, it's just what I want to say is that like if you come to Japan, you have to really patient, and you will have a lot of trouble. I'm kind of in a good position because I lived here already 3 years, and like one of the agents I was talking today told me if you have like a record in Japan of like paying everything and being always on time with your payment, and your visa is still long enough for them to kind of feel secure that you will be able to pay and everything, then it's easier. And it seems that for me it's easier, but like if you come to Japan just for the first time, it's apparently even more difficult, and I don't want to know how much more difficult it is. That's why I would also recommend people who come here for the first time to just move into a share house, because share houses are really convenient. It's easy to rent. You can give up this room with like 1 month's notice. You meet people and so on, and then you can start to build up this record of being in Japan. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then leave a like. Tell me about your experiences with renting an apartment in Japan or even in your country. I'm super interested into like how this works in other countries, because I have only the experience in Germany and Japan basically. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much. じゃあね。